Dash Dabrowski here, and I want to talk about that Merrick Garland memo that was released back in May. Well, I think better than me explain it is the former U.S. Senator Doug Jones, who gives a great breakdown, and he gives his theory on what he thinks the memo really means. Take a listen.
I've seen an awful lot of chatter about the May 25th Garland memo that just got leaked. And I understand people that haven't been in the trenches, they don't. It's easy to maybe misinterpret. Now, I have not seen the entire memo, so I really don't know everything that's in that memo. But what I saw with Rachel Maddow's segment, it is really just a reaffirmation of what has been Justice Department policy for a long, long time. And I think that's important to remember. I know that folks are anxious about the January 6th committee. I know folks are anxious that the Department of Justice seek charges against folks that were in the highest levels of government of the United States. And there's been compelling evidence about that. But this is really, based on what I've seen, is a reaffirmation of what has been the department policy for a long time. So here's the thing. Remember that when Bill Barr issued his memo in February of 2020, it came after a lot of controversy in 2016 when James Comey with the FBI, opened an investigation involving Hillary Clinton. Then he closed it. Then he opened it again right before the election. Many people thought that cost, Secretary Clinton the election. I, as a former DOJ guy, I thought that it was an improper way to do things. I thought it was a violation of DOJ policy. And I think some of what Barr did was in response to that. But the fact is, it was still part of a reaffirmation of department policy that had been in effect for a long time under a number of presidents, a number of attorneys general. And so it is usually the case that before an election, the Attorney General issues a guidance just like we have seen, at least on the excerpts that I have seen. Because it does a couple things. Remember what I've seen on this. It says that no one should open an investigation for the purpose of affecting the election. That doesn't mean that everybody that's out there gets a get-out-of-jail-free card if they simply declare themselves a candidate for president or anything else. That's not what that's saying. It's also not saying that ongoing investigations come to a halt. It's not saying that at all. The other thing it says simply is that if there is some thought of opening a new investigation, seek the Attorney General's approval. That is standard practice, folks, if you're talking about a high government official, whether it is somebody in the cabinet, whether it's somebody in the federal government, whether it's a governor or a sitting statewide office that the federal government is investigating. Those always go up to the highest chain in a situation like this. So I guess the point is this. Let's see what the whole memo says. I don't think this is going to stop the Department of Justice from conducting any investigations that are currently ongoing that are the result of what happened before, during, and after January 6th. I don't think it will stop any of the information from the January 6th committee going forward to the Department of Justice for any such investigation. The decisions to indict are coming down the road once all the evidence is gathered. But this memo is basically sitting there telling the department, and guys, it's what we want. We do not want, under any administration, for the Department of Justice, to open an investigation and start a criminal investigation under any to affect an election. Remember, that's kind of what Donald Trump wanted Zelensky to do with the Ukrainian thing. Just open an investigation and I'll take it from here. And meaning he will slander, he will do anything he wanted. It's one of the reasons I voted the way I did. We don't want that to happen. We don't want our Department of Justice to doing that. So let's see what the whole memo says. I understand people's feelings. Everybody is on edge about this. They've seen the January 6th committee. The committee is probably going to finish up with their last hearing anyway this Thursday. I think it's going to be a real interesting, again, connect the dots hearing with some really fascinating information, really scary information potentially. So let's see how this goes. Let's get the full memo, see if there's anything different. If there is, I'll be the first to talk about it. But right now, I think that this memo is simply a reaffirmation of existing policy that I think everybody that is watching this would want from a Department of Justice. Put yourself in a different position. So we'll see how this goes. Thank you all for listening. One of these days I'm going to figure out how to do all these damn camera things and make sure that I can get it right the first time without having to turn stuff around in a hotel room in Seattle. Y'all, good night. Take it easy. Let's see how this goes tomorrow.